I was out on the West Coast, trying to make a buck. My dreams of becoming an actor in Hollywood had fallen apart, and I found myself working odd jobs just to get by. I missed my family and friends back home, so I decided to start hitchhiking back east. The first 2 days of my journey were uneventful, but on the third night, I found myself stranded in the middle of nowhere. Rain poured down from the sky, and the wind howled in my ears. I had never felt so alone in my life. Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, I heard the sound of an engine in the distance. As the vehicle approached, I saw that it was a big semi-truck. I was grateful for the warmth and safety it offered, and I climbed into the cab. The driver was a huge man, weighing around 210 pounds. He introduced himself as Big Joe and said that his truck was called Phantom 309. He had a friendly smile and a booming voice that put me at ease. We chatted as we drove through the night, and I began to feel more and more comfortable with Big Joe. He told me about his life on the road and the adventures he had experienced over the years. He spoke of how much he loved his truck and the pride he took in keeping it in top condition. As we approached a truck stop, Big Joe told me that this was as far as he could take me. He said he had to make a turn up the road and that it was dangerous for me to continue with him. He gave me a dime and told me to have a cup of coffee on him. When I entered the truck stop, I told the waiter that Big Joe had sent me. The room fell silent, and the waiter's face turned pale. I asked if I had said something wrong, but he told me that every driver in there knew Big Joe. He then proceeded to tell me a story about Big Joe that chilled me to the bone. 10 years ago, at the very crossroads where I had flagged him down, a busload of children was crossing the road when Big Joe came speeding towards them. The children were trapped in the middle of the intersection, and it looked like a disaster was about to happen. But Big Joe had other plans. He swerved his truck to avoid the children, sacrificing his own life in the process. He crashed into a ditch, and the impact killed him instantly. The children were saved, and the intersection became known as the place where Big Joe made the ultimate sacrifice. The waiter told me that every now and then, hikers would come by, and Big Joe would give them a ride. He said that it was as if Big Joe's spirit still roamed the roads, looking out for those in need. He gave me another cup of coffee and a dime to keep as a souvenir. As I sipped my coffee and contemplated the story, I couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and gratitude for the kindness of strangers. Big Joe had saved those children's lives and had even gone out of his way to help a random hitchhiker like me. Was Big Joe some kind of ghost, wandering the roads in his truck, looking for people to help? I finished my coffee and left the diner, feeling both grateful and haunted by my encounter with Big Joe and Phantom 309. As I continued my journey back home, I couldn't help but wonder if there were more secrets waiting to be uncovered on the lonely roads of America.
What was your reaction to this story? Comment below about what type of drama you'd like to see next.